On The Bold and the Beautiful, fans either love or love to hate Sheila Carter. Either way, this lady is the show's living, beating heart. Unpopular opinion? From villain on The Young and the Restless to villain on The Bold and the Beautiful, Kimberlin Brown makes an impact as Sheila Carter, and the show wouldn't be the same without her. Fans love her and hate her in almost equal quantities, but none can argue against her being a polarizing character. As a grandmother to newly jailed Luna Nazoa, she never strays far from her villain arc. Fans of Sheila were vocal on the Soap Central message boards. Board user Daisy Forrester wrote, "This may be an unpopular opinion lately, but I'm really glad they've brought Sheila Carter and her family back into the show. Love her or hate her, she brings an energy that very few characters can." Sheila has always been the shock and awe factor, not just here, but on The Young and the Restless too. I've been watching since I was young, and she's one of the characters who has stayed unforgettable through the years. I think Kimberlin Brown deserves credit for that. She's a powerhouse, plain and simple. Every time she's on screen, she delivers. Some of the storylines in the past may have gone over the top, but I like that they're grounding Sheila again while still honoring her original impact. Making Finn her son and Luna her granddaughter was a brilliant move, and honestly, something they should have done years ago. I hope they keep her character layered and sane rather than pushing her back into the extreme villain role. If Deacon and Taylor cross paths again, that could open even more interesting directions without undoing all this work. At the end of the day, Kimberlin Brown is Sheila Carter, and Sheila Carter remains one of the most iconic figures in daytime television. Board user ReggieReg added, "I agree with everything you said. The problem I had in the past was that the show would write her into a corner. They need to keep the character gray so they won't have to resort to an elaborate, ridiculous scheme to keep her out of prison." T-Date mean. Sheila will always be Sheila. She now can switch sides in a heartbeat. Yesterday, so sweet to Taylor, but put Deacon in second place to her murderous grandchild, who has not changed a bit. Still can't trust her. She is more likable now, but would never turn my back to her. If Tay-Con get together, then watch out, Taylor. Love the Dusk replied, "I can appreciate her character because she has layers. She's not always one way. Sheila is capable of loving, but she's compulsive and passionate, and has no problem crossing legal boundaries to get what she wants. I see her now trying to do better, but being easily sucked in by a manipulative ingrate. She does not make the show. No one character does since Stephanie left IMO. Kimberlin Brown, if you read these things, we hope you realize how important you are to your fans. We can't get enough of Sheila, and long may she have complicated storylines. The Bold and the Beautiful preview video for the week of October 27-31 reveals that Liam Spencer will have an engagement ring for Hope Logan, while Deke Sharp deals with some boyfriend reveal horror. B&B's weekly promo kicks off with Deacon Sharp dishing out some advice in Taylor Hayes' office. Deacon will push Taylor to leave Ridge Forrester in the past and make room for some new joy in her life. Taylor will get swept up in a close moment with Deacon, who'll wipe away her tears and lean in like he's going to kiss her. At Forrester Creations, Deke will gather with Ivy Forrester, Electra Forrester, and Daphne Rose for more hope for the future prep. DK will apparently convince Remy to stop by Forrester and then drag him into quite a mess in the showroom. After Deke tells Babe to come on out, Remy will come around the corner and stir up some drama. "Remy?" Electra exclaims angrily in B&B's weekly preview video. Deke's boyfriend reveal obviously won't go as well as he might have hoped. Electra will no doubt spill all the awful things Remy did to her and try to open Deke's eyes to the kind of person he's dating. Remy will scramble to explain and act like he's learned his lesson, but Deke may push him away, at least for a while. Next, let's talk about Hope and Liam's attempt to enter a new romantic chapter. Liam will sit down with Hope and admit he's put her through a lot, but he'll hope she'll agree to put their family back together. The weekly preview video shows Liam pulling out a small box and unveiling a gorgeous engagement ring, so Hope seems pleased over this development based on her reaction. There's a good chance Hope's going to say yes to Liam's marriage proposal, so they may give their loved ones updates on some engagement news soon. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Hope and Liam's future looks bright now that they're committed to each other And their renewed happiness, The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for Monday, October 27th, reveal that Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes will deal with some kiss drama, while Hope Logan has an amazing surprise waiting for her. At Brooke Logan's place, Liam Spencer will plan to pull off an urgent grand gesture. B&B fans know Liam has faced some medical woes in recent months, both real and fake, so he's learned a valuable lesson about going after what you want. Life's too short to live any other way, so Liam will plan to ask Hope to be his wife again as soon as possible. It won't be long until Hope comes home to an amazing surprise, since Liam's about to deliver a sweet speech and ultimately propose to her. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Liam will have an engagement ring ready for Hope, so he'll hope to slip it on her finger and spread the good news soon enough. In the meantime, let's talk about Deacon and Taylor's emotional moment, since they also have one ahead. Taylor has been a big help to Deacon when it comes to sorting through his difficult feelings, so he'll want to be there for her too. It was hard for Taylor when Ridge Forrester chose Brooke Logan and remarried her so quickly. Deacon will get that Taylor's still hurting deep down, but he'll also see an opportunity for her to live life on her own terms. B&B spoilers say Deacon will give Taylor a pep talk and work to convince her that she could have a bright future without Ridge. Deacon will think truly moving on is possible and will dry Taylor's tears when she cries right in front of him. It won't be long until Taylor and Deacon are leaning in like they might be on the verge of a lip lock. Some kiss temptation is definitely on the way, so stay tuned for updates on whether Deacon and Taylor will share a smooch. Regardless, Sheila Sharp will no doubt be livid if she realizes just how close Taylor is getting to her man. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that we've got the answer to why Hope Logan, Liam Spencer, and Steffi Forrester's love triangle is officially over, at least for now. Steffi and Hope spent many years fighting over Liam, who waffled between them more times than we can count. It helped when John Finn Finnegan was brought on as a love interest for Steffi, but there have still been moments where B&B toyed with fans and played up Liam's deep connection to her. Fortunately, it seems like the show's shutting the door on any sort of romantic vibe between Steffi and Liam. Although Liam and Steffi will always be linked as Kelly Spencer's parents, their bond will hopefully remain platonic now that Liam's going all in on Hope. Daytime Confidential recently spoke to Scott Clifton on the red carpet at the Daytime Emmys, so that brought some questions about Liam and Hope's imminent reunion. Obviously, you can tell that they're heading in that direction. They're finding their way back to each other. And I really hope, and I think I even believe, that it'll stick this time, at least for some non-trivial amount of time, Clifton said. Of course, you can never say never on a soap, but there clearly aren't any plans to revisit the Hope, Liam and Steffi love triangle anytime soon. It's great news that even Clifton believes Liam and Hope are really going to make it work this time around. Clifton talked about the journey that both characters have been on, as well as the epiphanies, lessons, and priority shifts they've faced. Hope and Liam have grown a lot since the last time they were together, so let's hope they've evolved enough to give each other what they need in this relationship. That fake tumor crisis really shook Liam and Hope up, so they've learned they can't take anything for granted, especially when it comes to their family with Beth Spencer. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say it's almost time to put that family back together and grant Beth her wish of having reunited parents, so we'll bring you updates on what's in store for Hope and Liam. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that Luna Nozawa may ask John Finn Finnegan to raise her baby. Will Luna turn against the Spencers when her twisted plans fail and shift gears with a new goal instead? After Luna targeted Will Spencer and got pregnant with his unborn child, she became convinced this little one would be her get-out-of-jail-free card. Of course, B&B fans will recall that Luna got a rude awakening when Electra Forrester called the cops on her. Will and Bill Spencer did nothing to intervene, so Luna was hauled off to prison once again. Now Luna has been pretending she's in danger thanks to the other inmates, when she actually just convinced her cellmate to beat her up for the second time. It's simply the latest scheme on the list for Luna, who's clinging to hope that she can score her freedom and eventually make Will love her. However, Will has been adamant that he only cares about the baby. Likewise, Bill has promised that Luna's going to lose custody and will have no contact with this child once he or she is born. Even Katie Logan suggested they could raise the baby without the kid ever knowing Luna was his or her father. If Luna ultimately realizes her plans aren't going to pan out, she may focus on a new strategy. If Luna can't raise this baby as a free woman and become Mrs. Will Spencer, she may turn against the Spencer clan altogether. Luna might start thinking about other options that would keep the baby away from the Spencers, which could lead to her summoning Finn with a special request. What if Luna puts Finn on the spot by asking him to raise her baby instead? Finn is already raising young children, so Luna might want her dad to step up for her and be there for his grandchild as well. That doesn't mean Finn would go along with the idea, especially since Steffi Forrester Finnegan would flip out and probably deliver a firm no on that. Even so, Luna could try to sell Finn on the notion that her baby would be better off growing up away from the entitled, cruel Spencers, at least once things don't work out the way she hoped. Luna might push Finn to fight for custody with her full approval in the end. Whatever the case, the bold and the beautiful spoilers say Luna's storyline may get even messier, so stay tuned for updates on any other surprising news and complications. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for the next 2 weeks, October 27th to November 7th, reveal that Hope Logan will make a life-changing choice while Elektra Forrester's fury erupts. Deacon Sharp will also engage in some risky behavior, so here's what B&B fans can expect. During the week of October 27 to 31st, Liam Spencer will put his heart out there and show Hope just how much he's betting on their future. Although Liam has been known to waffle in the past, he'll work to convince Hope that she's the only one for him now. Hope made mistakes of her own along the way, but she also seems ready to fully open her heart to Liam again. It's been a long road back to this reunion, but Liam will ask Hope to marry him, for keeps this time. It looks like Hope will accept Liam's marriage proposal since she appears to be wearing the engagement ring in another clip from B&B's weekly preview video. Hope will eventually head to the Forrester showroom for a meeting with Elektra, Ivy Forrester, Daphne Rose, and Deke Sharp. Deke will use this opportunity to introduce Remy Price to everyone and summon him into the showroom too. Of course, Deke won't realize Elektra already knows Remy far too well. Elektra's about to put Remy on full blast for the deepfake horror that upended her life more than once. Remy also hunted Elektra down and terrified her until Will Spencer came to her rescue. Ivy knows what Elektra's been through and will rip into Remy as well, so Deke's about to hear some horror stories and could dump Remy over everything he learns. Remy will insist he's changed, but Deke will still struggle with all the awful news he receives. As for Deacon, he'll strengthen his bond with Taylor Hayes thanks to all the advice she's been giving him. Deacon will try to help Taylor get over Ridge Forrester too, so that'll leave them in risky territory. Taylor and Deacon will move in close. So is a lip lock coming up between them? Regardless, Taylor may ultimately come to her senses and realize this is inappropriate behavior considering Deacon is her patient. Deacon might consider working things out with Sheila, but will thoughts of Taylor and his new craving for her linger in the back of his mind? Of course, there could soon be some new Luna Nozawa developments as well, since she's determined to worm her way out of prison again. Will Luna pull another stunt as part of her plan soon? No matter what Luna tries next, Steffi Forrester Finnegan will no doubt keep venting to John Finn Finnegan and insist that Luna must remain behind bars. During the week of November 3 to 7th, Liam and Hope may focus on their wedding plans. This will be a joyful time for the reunited couple, one that they'll share with their equally delighted daughter, Beth Spencer. Beth will be over the moon when she finds out her parents are getting married again. So let's hope some adorable family scenes with Hope and Liam are on the way. As for Ridge, he may get updates on Deacon sniffing around Taylor and grow angry as a result. Deacon and Ridge are bound to have some showdowns in store sooner or later. Back with Remy, he may fight for Deke and try to prove he's a different person these days. If Deke is willing to give Remy another chance, that could rock the boat in his new friendship with Elektra and create trouble with his team at Forrester Creations. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Deke will have a lot to mull over, so stay tuned. The bold and the beautiful spoilers hint that Liam Spencer and Hope Logan's wedding could send Thomas Forrester over the edge. Will a dangerous mental health setback play out for Thomas as Hope and Liam prepare to tie the knot? Thomas and Paris Buckingham called off their engagement, which obviously left him pretty distraught. Paris was supposed to be Thomas's path forward after Hope couldn't commit to marriage, but that obviously didn't pan out. Thomas admitted to Ridge Forrester that he was feeling lost both personally and professionally. In addition to his Paris split, Thomas isn't satisfied creatively without a project to sink his teeth into. It may sting when Thomas gets updates on the new direction that revived Hope for the Future is headed in. Thomas may long for the days when he was the designer bringing Hope's vision to life. Now Deke Sharp and the others on Hope's team are getting the job done instead. Thomas may feel like it's been one blow after another since he lost Paris, watched Ridge Forrester break Taylor Hayes' heart, and isn't part of HFTF anymore. However, the worst blow may come in the form of Hope and Liam's upcoming wedding. It looks like Hope will accept Liam's engagement ring and agree to become his wife once again. B&B fans will recall how hesitant Hope was when it came to accepting Thomas's own marriage proposal. Despite Thomas's repeated attempts to get Hope on board, she just couldn't make that level of commitment to him. Hope wore Thomas' ring on a chain that she placed on her neck, which says a lot about the limbo they were stuck in. After Hope puts Liam's ring on her finger and starts planning their nuptials, it could push Thomas right over the edge. This could pave the way for Thomas to return and go off the rails, so stay tuned to see whether he might crash the ceremony or cause some other chaos. The Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers say Hope and Liam's wedding news could be tough on Thomas, so we'll keep you posted on his reaction. The Bold and the Beautiful recap for Friday, October 24th, reveals that Carter Walton realized he was done saving damsels since Daphne Rose didn't need a hero. At Spencer Publications, Bill Spencer assumed Luna Nozawa either gave herself the shiner or provoked someone into doing it for her. Although Bill was fine with letting Luna get roughed up, Katie Logan showed concern for the baby and suggested having Luna sequestered. Will Spencer just wanted to talk about something other than Luna, so the conversation shifted to a new deal Liam Spencer pulled off and his desire to fix his family with Hope and Beth Spencer. Katie assured Liam about her belief that Hope was ready to find her way back to herself and to Liam. Bill ultimately gave Liam a nudge to fight for what he wanted, which is exactly what Liam planned on doing. In the Forrester showroom on Friday's B&B episode, Daphne was there with Carter, Hope, and Brooke Logan Forrester. After Daphne handed over samples of her new fragrance for Hope for the Future, Hope and Brooke were impressed. Daphne headed to the CEO office with Carter, who opened up about his broken engagement. Carter was still on good terms with Hope, but he confessed he should have listened to Daphne's warnings, and that he couldn't compete with Hope's family with Liam. Carter also admitted he'd been drawn to Daphne from the start, and that he no longer had to pretend that wasn't the case. Over a flirty French meal, Carter made his interest known and praised Daphne's singing talent. Daphne suggested Carter would have to earn her trust, and that she wouldn't come in second in anybody's heart. After realizing he's fallen into a pattern of saving damsels, Carter suggested pursuing something with Daphne was scary since she didn't need to be saved. If Daphne was going to be with Carter, it'd be because that's what she wanted. Carter wanted to prove himself to Daphne and eventually pulled her into a kiss, so things felt hopeful between them. Back in the showroom, Deacon Sharp joined Brooke in trying to push Hope toward a reunion with Liam. Hope was more interested in discussing Deacon's crumbling marriage to Sheila Sharp, which she felt he should end for good. Hope acknowledged that Deke Sharp felt the same way, but Deacon hinted about love being complicated before shifting the conversation back to Hope and Liam's reconnection. After Deacon got a text and took off, Hope opened up to Brooke about knowing there were good reasons for her breakup with Liam. That said, Hope also realized lessons had been learned and couldn't deny her lingering love. The Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers say Hope and Liam will make some updates to their relationship status soon, so we'll pass along any positive news regarding their future together. On the Friday, October 24th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope and Liam's families encouraged them to reunite, and Carter and Daphne took things to the next level. At Spencer, Katie asked for an update on Luna's injuries, but Bill wouldn't buy into it. He thought Luna could have punched herself in the face to give herself the black eye and bruises. Although the baby was fine, Katie wanted to pull strings and get her removed from the general population. Bill was fine with Luna being fed to the other inmates, but Katie disagreed. Anything that put the baby at risk needed to be avoided. Will wanted to go one day without speaking about Luna. He switched the topic to praise Liam for closing a significant deal at Spencer. Liam was even more grateful for having made it through all his recent personal challenges. He had a new clarity about his personal and professional life, and his fake near-death experience brought it to light. Bill pushed Liam to go after what he wanted and conquer the world, to which Liam replied, "Hope and Beth are my world." Bill brought up Hope and Carter ending their engagement, and although he saw a future for his family, he wasn't sure, but it was the plan. Katie always thought Hope and Liam were destined. She fancied herself the #1 supporter of their future reconciliation. He had no intention of giving up on Hope, no matter what. Bill acknowledged Liam's integrity and principles, but he noticed a new confidence in Liam. Since the fake tumor and being shot, he found Liam to be a stronger man. Liam compared himself to Bill and felt that he had more in common than they knew. Bill wanted Liam to reunite his family with Hope and never let it slip away again. At Forrester, Hope expressed excitement for Deke to get started as the lead designer of Hope for the Future. Daphne pitched a new scene idea to complement Hope's line revival, which Hope deeply appreciated. Carter made a side comment about Liam making the most out of his return to Spencer, but Hope mostly played it off. Although it was a new beginning for Hope's line, awkwardness definitely exists, regardless of their previous thoughts. Deacon showed up, and he and Brooke both questioned if there was a new future for Hope and Liam. With her engagement to Carter over, a do-over with Liam could happen. She thought they planned this double team about Liam, but they swore it was a coincidence. Hope was just happy that she and Carter maintained a sense of decorum after their failed relationship. Brooke again urged her daughter that Liam was the one for her. Hope placed blame on Sheila for a large majority of Luna's actions, and she didn't think Deacon was thinking about anyone but himself. He knew how dangerous Sheila was. And he still considered taking her back. Deacon wanted Hope to open her heart to Liam because love is complicated, and nothing worth having comes easily. Brooke urged Hope to remember that the heart wants what it wants. She reminded Hope that the love triangle with Steffi is a non-issue because of her commitment to Finn. There was nothing standing in the way of her and Liam getting back together. Hope felt more solid and stable than she had in some time, and she thought both she and Liam had grown as people since their divorce. Liam's health and wellness mattered most to Hope. She wanted to live in the moment, and she would rather talk about Sheila. Brooke was thankful that Sheila was out of his life, but Deacon referred to it as a separation. Hope was stunned that her father would still defend Sheila after everything, and she couldn't compartmentalize her feelings for her anymore. She needed him to put that relationship behind him and find someone else. Hope reminded Deacon what Luna did to Liam, and since he was so important to her life, she couldn't forgive Sheila keeping such a megawatt secret. Carter told Daphne in the CEO room that she was right about Hope and Liam. He was never going to compete against Hope and her ready-made family. He said, "In the end, I had to admit that Hope's heart belongs to Liam." Carter surprised Daphne with a Michelin-starred chef who prepared an intimate meal for the two of them. He called Daphne a force and complimented her singing voice. Carter wanted to hear her sing again, and luckily for him, she planned on performing again at Il Giardino's open mic night. Carter told Daphne that she lit him up, and he confessed he had a connection to her from the moment they met. He was afraid their connection could interfere with his relationship with Hope. However, that wasn't an obstacle, and he was free to pursue her. However, Daphne was afraid of being second in his heart. She wanted to be put first. Carter noticed a pattern in his past relationships, and he came to the conclusion that he saved women who needed rescuing. Carter knew if Daphne chose him, she wanted to be with him, and it wasn't because of something she needed from him. He promised to enjoy proving himself to her, and the pair shared a passionate kiss. Welcome to the Bold and the Beautiful Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. We're ready to sing that old Debbie Reynolds song again with Carter in mind. He may not be Tammy, but Carter's in love. But hey, this time, Carter, the man who moves from fiancé to fiancé faster than a Maserati, actually did some reflecting between breaking off his engagement with Hope and choosing Daphne, who has been ready and waiting for months, on 2 different continents, no less. During his reflection period, Carter realized he had felt the need to play hero in his other relationships and chose a person who needed him rather than wanted him. But Daphne was a woman who wanted him, something different for Carter's always addled love life. But wait, there's more. Carter could finally be honest. It turns out he's had a thing for Daphne all along. From the moment she sauntered into Eric's office, Carter was hooked, and all it took was a whiff. There was just something about Daphne that caught his eye. Hope? Hope who? Oh, that's right. It turned out that he didn't want Hope, and only Hope. He wanted Daphne too, but he had to pretend. Now that Hope was a thing of the past, Carter was free to feel his feelings. So much for Carter's last great romance. Daphne, don't get too comfortable. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full B&B recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not. Seriously, do not. Forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. The bold and the beautiful spoilers tease that Luna Nozawa reached a new low this week when she asked an inmate to beat her up. She thought this would get her sprung from the clink, but she may have miscalculated the situation terribly. Here's what to know about Luna's latest crime. Luna doesn't listen in the October 21st episode. Bill Spencer told her he would not lift a finger to help her. Last time around, he got her pardoned, and that enabled her to assault his son and become pregnant. Bill isn't having any more of Luna's lunacy. Whatever power he has will be used to keep her chained. Luna tested his theory by having a convict beat her, but Bill didn't blink. Now what? Bill was fooled by this ruse once before, and that got everyone burned. Luna wails that the Spencer mansion is the only place she's safe, but we doubt her presence is wanted. Soon Bill will have his spiritually cleansed of her. In light of his judgment on Luna's evilness, he may recommend an option to keep Luna safe in jail: solitary confinement. Bill is concerned for the health and safety of his grandchild Will Spencer's baby. Bill may turn to solitary as a way to keep the child safe from predators. If Luna is put in solitary confinement, she won't interact with her fellow convicts, thus ensuring her safety. We are pretty sure she didn't think of this before she had Leatherface beat her up. But as we said, Luna is her own worst enemy. It boggles the mind to think what she will do next to get what she wants. As for now, Red Hot, the Bold, and the Beautiful spoilers hint that Luna's plot may backfire in an epic way. Tell us what you think of a mother having herself beat up while she's pregnant. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with the Bold and the Beautiful right now. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Reveal a preview clip has been released for the week of October 27th, 2025. It shows Liam Spencer proposing to Hope Logan. Remy Price faces Electra Forrester. Plus, Deacon Sharp kisses Taylor Hayes. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Liam, who has a new lease on life. Now that he realizes he's not dying after all, he has some clarity. The man will admit that he's still in love with Hope and wants to get their family back together again. While Hope does love Liam and has feelings for him, it's complicated. The preview clip shows Liam proposing marriage to Hope. While she does smile, there seems to be a bit of hesitation on her part. In fact, it seems Hope could be in an impossible situation. The girl is a single woman again, but she doesn't want to make another romantic mistake. Hope even reminded Brooke Logan Forrester that things haven't always been easy with Liam. The last thing that Hope wants is Liam running to Steffi Forrester Finnegan the minute things get hard. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the week of October 27th reveal that the preview clip also shows Deacon and Taylor getting even closer. Taylor has a tear streaming down her cheek when Deacon suggests they move on together. The man declares, "Why can't you just leave Ridge, Forrester, Thorsten K. in the past and make room for something new?" Then, Deacon slowly leans in to kiss Taylor. However, Sheila Carter Sharp might not take this news so well. In fact, despite Sheila's reformation, jealousy and rage could cloud her judgment. First, Steffi Forrester Finnegan takes Sheila's son. Then Taylor takes her husband. This could turn into a dangerous situation. There is also Deke Sharp. The man goes into the showroom at Forrester Creations to greet Hope, Electra, and Daphne Rose. They are all eager to meet Deke's other half. When Remy walks in, Electra is furious. What does this mean for Deke's new job? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of October 27th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. The Bold and the Beautiful recap is finally in for Friday, October 24th, 2025. In today's episode, Daphne Rose doesn't make it easy for Carter Walton. Plus, Bill Spencer talks to his family about Luna Nozawa's prison injuries. At Spencer Publications, Bill talks to the family about Luna's prison injuries. Bill thinks the girl got herself attacked on purpose. He wants her to stay there and rot. Will Spencer and Katie Logan bring up the baby, though? Will changes the subject to Liam Spencer. The man has clarity now that he's not dying. Bill urges his son to get Hope Logan and Beth Spencer back. Katie thinks that Hope is ready to reunite. Will has always admired Lope. Bill gushes about their strength as a couple. Bill adds that the Spencer men fight for what they want. At Forrester Creations, Daphne gives Hope and Brooke Logan Forrester a new fragrance to try. They love it. They bring up Liam's second chance. Hope adds that it really puts things in perspective for her. Carter gets awkward and exits with Daphne. Brooke questions Hope's feelings for Liam. Deacon Sharp interrupts and wants to know the answer too. Deacon and Brooke both are sure Carter isn't the one for Hope. When they push about Liam, Hope says she's just trying to stay in the moment. Hope brings up Sheila Carter Sharp. Hope and Brooke don't want Deacon reuniting with his wife. They argue about Sheila's role in the Luna situation. Sheila is no good for you, Hope declares. The man says love is complicated and exits. Brooke tells Hope not to waste any more time. The girl says things with Liam aren't always easy. The mother thinks that Hope needs to savor her time with Liam and Beth. In another office, Daphne and Carter talk. She wants to know if it was hard to be in the room with Hope. The COO says the nose was right all along. It would never have lasted. He was going up against an entire family, and Hope's heart will also belong to Liam. Carter has food delivered and gushes about Daphne being incredible. Carter can't believe how beautiful she is. He wants to move on with her. However, Daphne says he'll have to work for it. She won't be second place in anyone's heart. Carter admits he tends to fall for women who need rescuing, but she doesn't need that at all. It's something fresh and exciting to him. They smooch. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna pulled a Luna and used her pregnancy to tug at her baby daddy, Will Spencer Jr.'s heartstrings. The Il Giardino killer appeared at the prison visit covered in bruises and cried to Will that their baby wouldn't survive if she stayed behind bars. Is Dollar Bill's son going to cave in and get his crazy baby mama sprung? Luna Nozawa was ratted out by Will Spencer Jr.'s girlfriend, Electra Forrester. Electra seemed content that Luna was in prison, and it looked like their relationship might actually survive this wild pregnancy twist. But if Will undoes what his girlfriend did and brings his baby mama back to the Spencer mansion, heads are going to roll. Will Spencer Jr. is going through a lot right now, and learning he is going to be a father has definitely thrown him for a loop. But at some point, he's going to develop feelings for Luna's little fetus. According to The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Will might cave in and ask Dollar Bill to get Luna back out from behind bars. Considering Bill Spencer's wild devotion to anyone with his DNA, he won't hesitate to grant his son's wish. All signs are pointing to the Spencer family bringing Luna back to the mansion to live out the duration of her pregnancy and receive top-notch medical care. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say once Will Spencer shows any sort of interest in the infamous baby, Electra Forrester is going to walk out on him. Is it really fair of Electra to force Will to choose between her and an innocent baby? Even if the baby's mom is Luna Nozawa? Let us know what you think in the comments down below and keep checking back here on Celebrating the Soaps for more B&B spoilers and news. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that Brooke Logan and Hope Logan could be about to strike at vulnerable Sheila Carter. They do not approve of Deacon Sharp being with Sheila, and now that they are somewhat estranged, Deacon's baby mama and daughter might see an opportunity to get him away from the witch. Hope and her brother, Deke Sharp, want Deacon to have a normal wife, not one with 8 toes and 0 morals. Deacon and Taylor Hayes are doing therapy sessions and growing closer by the minute. Deacon and Taylor are so aligned that Sheila is jealous. Maybe Brooke and Hope pick up on this as well and finagle to push out Sheila and push Taylor toward Deacon. If the knives come out, Hope and Deke will start to bad-talk Sheila to their dad. Thus far, they have towed the line and been polite but disapproving of Sheila. Adding to the impetus, Brooke could nudge Taylor toward Deacon. Brooke has a vested interest in keeping Taylor occupied so that she leaves her husband Ridge Forrester alone. Could Brooke and Taylor conspire against Sheila? A third attack could come from Hope and Brooke together. They have a vested interest in seeing Deacon happy and believe that Sheila is not the woman who can do that. It is tempting to sympathize with Sheila and her remarkable turnaround. But we are seeing shades of the old Sheila as she semi-stalks Taylor. Sheila also lied about Luna Nozawa being alive and having non-consensual sex with Will Spencer, resulting in pregnancy. And there is more that Deacon doesn't know about. Sheila got Remy a job with Bill Spencer, which is how he met Luna. Deacon suddenly has a lot of Sheila's baggage to unpack. Do you think he is better off without his current wife? What happens next on the CBS soap? What we have here is a potential win-win situation for Brooke, Deke, and Hope. If they can manage to break up Deacon and Sheila, they eliminate her presence and bad influence. And if they can nudge Deacon toward Taylor, he can presumably find happiness while neutralizing Taylor's threat to Bridge. What do you think of some soapy meddling for Taycon and away from Shecon? Be sure to catch up on everything happening with The Bold and the Beautiful right now. Come back here often for the hottest B&B updates, news, and spoilers. Get comfortable and gain access to the best soap intel on the web. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Monday, October 27th indicate that Steffi Forrester may have a stern warning for Bill Spencer. Meanwhile, Deacon Sharp will turn the tables on Taylor Hayes and question her love life choices. Luna is convinced that Will is going to come back and get her out of prison. However, Bill doesn't believe that Luna is in danger at all. Luna's cellmate has already offered to give her another black eye if she needs her to. Will Luna take the risk of being hurt again to force Will's hand? Luna is going to do whatever it takes to get her way, but Bill has promised not to help her again. What if Bill turns the table and has Luna move to a private cell instead? Will Luna find herself in solitary until her baby is born instead of being free to come between Will and Electra Forrester? Will Spencer visited Luna Nozawa in prison after the doctor called and told him about her attack. Will has come back and given his parents an update. However, Bill believes he is on to Luna's plans and has no intention of getting her out of prison again. Bill believes that Luna is beating herself up to make Will worry about her. In the meantime, Steffi is fresh off of confronting Luna, and Bill is next on her list. Steffi knows all about Luna being pregnant with Will's baby. Steffi is determined to keep Luna in prison for the rest of her life. Steffi knows that Luna believes Bill will get her released again, and she isn't having it. Steffi needs to have a word with him. Read this. The Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers! Bill just made a threat. He's going to regret. Deacon has grown accustomed to talking to Taylor about his problems. However, Deacon also knows that Taylor is going through a lot right now. The subject of Ridge Forrester will come up, and frankly, Deacon doesn't see what is so great about this man. Deacon wants to know why Taylor doesn't move on from the Waffler and find herself another man. Things get intense, and the two of them, and according to the preview video, they will almost kiss. Will Deacon and Taylor cross the line between patient and doctor and share a kiss? Will Deacon prove to be the man that can make Taylor forget all about Ridge and move on with someone who can actually be devoted to one woman at a time? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say that at this point, she should have learned already, right? Clearly, we are talking about Steffi Forrester, as it's pretty clear that she made a huge mistake with Luna Nozawa. And by that we mean, She shouldn't have visited Luna while she was in prison and made the threats that she had made. When Steffi told Luna that she's not going to use her innocent child to get her out of prison and that she would see to it that it would never happen, Luna knew right there that she was going to get out in no time. There's just no stopping this woman. Of course, B&B fans had a lot to say about the matter on social media. Some even commented with, "You'd think, at some point, that Steffi would figure out that storming off to taunt a crazy person never turns out well for her. That girl has a million tricks up her sleeve. It's never wise to poke a bear." Another critic wrote, "Luna is going to go the 'it's too dangerous in here for me' again. She'll beat herself up again and cry she's scared for the baby's life. Yada yada yada. Put the psycho in solitary confinement." And then there was this comment as well. How could Luna be in a prison? At this point, she could only be in jail awaiting trial. Even if Luna pled guilty, which you know she wouldn't, she'd still just be in jail awaiting a sentencing hearing months away. Maybe the writers don't understand the difference between jail and prison. Jail or prison, Luna won't be staying behind bars long. My guess is Will breaks and helps Luna get out legally. Now, as far as what's next remains to be seen. The bold and the beautiful fans will simply have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. B&B airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times. For now, let us know what you think by leaving us a line with your thoughts in our comments section below. The Bold and the Beautiful had an interesting week filled with confrontations, manipulations, and budding romance. The Bold and the Beautiful did not disappoint this week, filled with moments that highlighted the tense nature of Luna being alive and glimmers of what the future could be. It was precisely what viewers needed as October begins to wrap up. Steffi is back in town and wasted no time issuing a threat to Luna. Once she arrived at home and learned the truth about Luna's death, she went to lay down the law. Steffi is no longer willing to let her run rampant through town and cause damage, and will make it her mission to ensure she remains behind bars, baby or not. After Steffi laid into her, Luna got something she didn't plan on from Bill. No one wants to deal with an angry Bill. She saw that he means business. There will be no pardon for her this time. At least not yet. He made sure to tell her that the baby would be taken from her once she gave birth. However, don't count the B&B villain out just yet. She had her cellmate throw a few punches and bruise her up pretty good. Interestingly enough, this is how she convinced Bill to get her out of there last time. The doctor she saw, called Will, asked him to come check on her. At this point, there is nothing that Luna won't do to ensure she gets out of prison. After Will saw her like that, it seemed to concern him. He isn't worried about her, but knowing she is carrying his baby has put him in a tough spot. Luna is nothing if not resourceful. Her baby and the setup attack may have landed her another trip out of jail. If Will worries about the baby and convinces Dollar Bill to intervene, things could quickly get messy. It was inevitable. Liam and Hope have cheerleaders hoping the two reunite. From the Spencers pushing him to move in on Hope to Brooke, and Deacon pushing her to take a chance, there's no shortage of well wishes for them. Things changed for the former couple when he was shot, and they found out he didn't have a brain tumor. The reality of living without Liam was too much for Hope. She ended things with Carter and can move on. Hope ended her engagement to Carter. But now what? Does she want Liam? In the October 24th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope has an intense discussion with Deacon and Brooke about reuniting with Liam. Everyone is telling her that Lope is meant to be. But what does her heart want? At Forrester Creations, Brooke, Hope, Carter, and Daphne sniff the samples of the latest fragrance. They all agreed that it would be the perfect complement to HFTF. Then, the conversation shifted to Liam being alive and healthy again. Brooke encouraged Hope to give Liam a second chance. Deacon entered the room upon hearing Liam's name. He's been a Lope fanatic since the beginning. Deacon encouraged Hope to do the same. Hope said she's enjoying the present moment. She wanted to focus on Deacon's marital problems with his wife, Sheila. However, Deacon told them that they were only seeking a separation during this time. They have no intention of divorce. Regardless, Hope told her father to dump Sheila for good. She pointed out Sheila's bond with Luna, which will never break. Deacon told his daughter that love is hard. He also advised her not to let Liam slip away. Everyone wants Hope to get back with Liam. Later in the episode, Brooke told Hope that she and Deacon weren't pressuring her. However, she's better off with Liam than anyone else. Hope hasn't forgotten why she divorced her ex in the first place. He spent most of their marriage waffling between her and Steffi. She didn't want to get her heart broken once again. Although Hope enjoyed her time with Liam and Beth, she needs to consider what she wants to do next. The last thing she wants to do is jump into another relationship that will likely fail. She's already done that with Carter and Thomas. Brooke advised Hope to follow her heart. She could tell that her daughter still loves Liam. Hope believes they both learned their lesson in the past. Then she added, "How could I not love him? But does Hope really want Liam back? Or is she doing this to save their family?" Meanwhile, Bill encouraged Liam to fight for what he wants. He's a Spencer man after all. Catherine Kelly Lang unveils a new creative venture that blends fashion, film, and fan connection. On The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke and Ridge are married once again, but Luna's unexpected resurgence has thrown everything into chaos. While the drama in Los Angeles heats up, the woman behind Brooke is stepping into a new creative spotlight of her own. Catherine Kelly Lang took to social media to make a big announcement, and this time, it's not about Brooke's love life. It's about fashion, film, and a new way for fans to connect directly with her. On Instagram, Lang wrote, "You've all been so supportive and enthusiastic about this fashion short film since the very first clips we shared before the summer. I had initially planned to release it in August, but as I mentioned during the summer, I decided to hold off in order to create something even bigger, a more immersive experience that truly reflects my vision." Attached to the post was the teaser trailer again for Beyond the Lens, Catherine Kelly Lang. The caption continued, "Today, I'm thrilled to officially announce the launch of my all-new digital fan club, where all my projects will live. Inside, you'll find exclusive content, digital premieres, behind-the-scenes moments, and so much more that won't be available anywhere else." She explained where fans can subscribe, and further announced her film would be premiering on Monday, October 27th. Available exclusively on my fan club, MUH. The comments section lit up fast. "Always beautiful and graceful and a perfect reminder that age is just a number," one fan wrote. Another chimed in with, "You're amazing inside and out, Kelly," while someone else added simply, "Living legend." There was plenty of excitement too. "Can't wait," one follower shared. Another wrote, "That's fantastic news, and I'm so curious to get to know this sweet and cute superwoman Kelly even better." One fan called her Energy, while another wrote, "Fashion icon." More fan poured in with love. "You are the queen!" "The one and only queen of Bold and the Beautiful. I adore you," said one. "So excited to be able to be a part of it. Fantastic news. Can't wait," added another. And one follower lovingly commented, "Love this. You are gorgeous, and your energy is amazing. Looking forward to your story," wrote a follower. Pregnant Luna has a plan to get out of prison on The Bold and the Beautiful. Luna is using the fear and sympathy card to gain sympathy from the Spencers. The one person who might help her is her baby daddy, Will. Even when she's in jail, Luna never stops scheming. The mom-to-be is anxious to get released from prison and is using the same method as before. As B&B fans remember, Luna used her assault by fellow inmates to gain Bill's sympathy and secure her freedom. However, this time around, her waterworks didn't work with Bill. He's determined that Luna remain locked up after the pain she inflicted on his family. Since Bill brushed her off, Luna is switching to another target. After Luna goaded another inmate into hitting her, the prison doctor contacted Will. Against his better judgment, Will visited Luna, who didn't waste any time in expressing fear for her and her baby's life. One would assume Will is smart enough not to fall for Luna's act. However, on a soap opera message board, fans believe he'll get Luna freed. Will is going to have a change of heart sooner than later and ask his father, Bill, to help him get her out of the dangerous prison, wrote one fan. "I agree. Will is going to do it for the child. Then Elektra will go nuts," another commenter replied. "I think Bill is going to have her released once he finds out she was beaten, just like last time. Bill might not care about Luna, but he does care about a potential Spencer baby, one viewer wrote. Will and Bill are setting themselves up for more trouble if they get Luna released. Of course, this will infuriate Katie and likely put a stop to any reunion between her and Bill. However, the one couple who'll be affected by all this is Will and Elektra. She'll be upset by Will's actions and question his motives regarding Luna. Although Will says Elektra is the one for him, she'll wonder if he's in love with Luna. As for Luna, she'll use her newfound freedom to her advantage. She'll take the opportunity to woo Will away from Elektra by getting him to bond with their baby. But Luna's days of freedom might not last long. Once the baby's born, it'll be back to prison for her, unless Will decides otherwise. Bill delivers a brutal truth to Katie and Will about Luna's actions, while Daphne returns with questions that could change everything for Carter and Hope. The Bold and the Beautiful's must-watch moments for Friday, October 24th, include Bill letting Katie and Will know that Luna intentionally did what she did to Will. Plus, Daphne wants to know the status of Carter and Hope's relationship. Lee saved Luna's life while letting everyone believe she'd died. Ultimately, Sheila found out, but she also kept the secret, which caused her issues with Deacon. Even worse, though, is that Luna snuck around and raped Will after his big celebration. It took Will a bit to realize he hadn't slept with Elektra like he thought. Finally, Luna dropped the bombshell on Will, Elektra, Bill, and Katie that she was pregnant. A subsequent paternity test that Bill ordered showed that Will was indeed Luna's baby's father. Elsewhere, Daphne is back in Los Angeles. She left after Carter rejected her in favor of Hope. Hope and Carter got engaged and planned to get married. However, during Liam's recovery from being shot and his brain tumor, Hope and Liam reconnected. Carter realized that, and he and Hope amicably decided to end their engagement. Of course, that leaves the door open for a potential romance between Carter and Daphne. Bill tells Liam, Will, and Katie that what Luna did is on purpose. Daphne inquires about Carter's relationship with Hope. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers are in for Monday, October 27th, 2025. In the next episode, fans can expect Luna Nozawa to make another move. Meanwhile, Deacon Sharp wants to move on with a hesitant Taylor Hayes. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Luna, who already had her cellmate beat her up to gain sympathy from Will Spencer. The young lady manipulated the prison doctor into getting Will down there, then begged him to save their baby's life. Of course, Will walked out of there not doing anything. Then, he alerted everyone about Luna's injuries. Bill Spencer is right when he said Luna did it on purpose. Since Will hasn't taken the bait yet, Luna will probably have her cellmate beat her up yet again. Bill will insist that pregnant or not, Luna needs to stay behind bars. However, both Will and Katie are worried about the baby. So, that could have Katie issuing a plea to Bill to find a way to protect their grandchild. That could compel Bill to go ahead and make another deal with the prison. However, I really don't think the mansion is a place for criminals. Can't they just stick Luna in isolation or something? The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for Monday, October 27th, reveal that Deacon will go ahead and continue seeing Taylor. The man is torn between Taylor and Sheila Carter Sharp. Despite Sheila wanting to save her marriage, Deacon seems to have made up his mind. In a preview clip for next week, Deacon urges Taylor to get over Ridge Forrester and try something new. With a tear streaming down her cheek, Taylor and Deacon get closer to kissing. However, Taylor didn't mention Deacon when chatting with Steffi Forrester Finnegan, so I wonder if Deacon and Taylor will keep their romance a secret. If they do, chances are Sheila will find out the truth. Fans might also see how Elektra Forrester is going to process Will's situation with Luna and the baby. As much as she loves him and wants to support Will, Luna just might make it impossible, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Monday, October 27th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say that if there's anything that we've learned about Bill Spencer over the years, it's that when he means business, he's definitely not messing around. But this time around, he might have just made a threat that he is going to regret later on. That's because he told Luna Nozawa that there's no way that she's keeping her baby after the child is born, because according to Bill, that child is going to be a Spencer. Not only that, but he's going to spend every dime that he has to his name to make sure that Luna stays as far away from the child as humanly possible. But at the same time, we are talking about Luna Nozawa here. During the latest episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, she already made it pretty clear that she had a plan in place. She was going to get herself out of jail by making it look like she is getting beaten up every day, which she is. Of course, there's no way that Bill Spencer is going to want to see his future grandchild put in that kind of position. As much as he wants Luna to stay behind bars, he's going to worry about the child's safety, and that's why there's a good chance that he might get Luna out sooner rather than later. But whether or not Bill is going to be able to keep Luna out of trouble is another thing. There's just no knowing what she is capable of. Now, as far as what's next remains to be seen. The Bold and the Beautiful fans will simply have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. B&B airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times. For now, let us know what you think by leaving us a line with your thoughts in our comments section below. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with B&B right now. Come back here often for The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers, news, and updates. Bold and the Beautiful teases as Hope Logan is newly single and Liam Spencer wanting to get back with her, but we haven't seen a lot of action on that front. That is all about to change. We're going to talk about what's next for Liam and Hope as we head into November sweeps, which kicks off next week. So, Carter Walton took that engagement ring off Hope's finger when he saw she couldn't shake her attraction to Liam or her love for her ex-husband. Finally, we can see Hope and Liam are on the precipice of a reconciliation, but they're not moving forward. Not yet. We know Hope's wanted to be with Liam for a while, but they hit a roadblock during the fake cancer ordeal when he sent Hope back to Carter. He told her to be with him, get back with him, because Liam wanted Beth to have a good stepdad after he died. And then Liam didn't die. Hope realized that maybe she could get a happily ever after with Liam, but she was engaged to Carter, and so Hope was torn. But Carter saw what was happening, and he did the right thing. He stepped aside. He let her go. And then Hope ran right over to do the daddy-daughter dance thing with Liam and Beth, and he saw, okay, Carter's ring isn't on her finger anymore. And then nothing. Right. This week, Deacon Sharp is advising Hope to go back to Liam and make things work. Deacon said, don't let it slip away. You know, your chance at happiness. Because he's dealing with marital issues. But Hope's telling Deacon and Brooke Logan that she is not sure what the future holds for her and Liam. Hope certainly seems to be on a path to rekindle with Liam, but we've not seen them in a room together that I can recall since that daddy-daughter dance scene at the Logan mansion. Brooke and Ridge Forrester recently got back together, you know, and they remarried for the zillionth time, and they've been blah since then. So we need some romance. We need some excitement. At the forefront is Deacon and Sheila Carter on the cusp of splitting. They're estranged right now, and poor Will Spencer having to deal with his pregnant rapist. So I'd like some romance. I'm hoping that something exciting comes for Hope and Liam, and it comes soon. Brad Bell could be planning a slow burn. That's very typical of Bold and the Beautiful, but given how long Liam has been without a woman, it's way past overdue. We don't need that slow burn. And Hope's been thinking about Liam for quite a while, so this slow burn should be at the point of exploding into flames. I hope the romance between them picks up the pace very soon. Let's talk about what is next for Hope and Liam. The first thing we expect is to see Hope and Liam have a first date. It might even be at Il Giardino, since Deacon's pushing Hope about Liam this week, telling her to open her heart up to him and, you know, don't let him get away. Deacon and Brooke might even set Hope and Liam up for a first date, unknowingly drawing each of them to Il Giardino. I could see them doing that. I'm sure Hope would love a romantic first date with Liam. So, that's the first thing I think we need to see. Second, I think Hope needs to come clean. She needs to bare her soul to Liam and tell him Carter was just a passing fancy. She needs to tell Liam she has also realized that her relationship with Thomas Forrester wasn't healthy, and Hope should own her part in the breakup of their marriage. So, She kind of had that conversation with Ridge the other day when they were talking about designers and stuff. But that's a conversation that Hope also needs to have with Liam. So yeah, I think she needs to explain that she went off the rails. She owes that to Liam. I think it's long overdue on Bold and the Beautiful. However, the failure of their marriage is not all on Hope. Even though she was hot for Thomas, Liam shares blame for the breakdown of their marriage because his heart was divided, and for the longest time, half of it belonged to Steffi Forrester. Hope felt that every day. So that leads us to what I think should come next, and that's Liam needs to bare his soul, come clean, and make it clear that he has cut his heart ties to Steffi romantically. We should get to see Liam confessing to Hope that he sees that Steffi is with her soulmate Finn Finnegan, and that Liam is completely and truly over any romantic feelings for Steffi. Liam needs to say out loud to Hope, "Steffi and I are just co-parents. There's never going to be any romance between us again. Nothing sexual, nothing at all." That needs to be addressed and clarified so Hope gets closure and knows that she will never have to settle for less than all of Liam's heart, because that was a big deal breaker for her in the past. Of course, Steffi and Liam will always have a connection because of Kelly Spencer. They'll be co-parents, but nothing else. Plus, Hope and Steffi are finally in a good place, which is great after many years of fighting over Liam, and I want them to stay in a good place. Something else that I think all Lope fans have been waiting to see is a true reunion, and for Hope and Liam to make love soon with no ghost of the past or other people between them. So, we get their true soulmate vibe, that whole destiny feel. The last time Hope and Liam were intimate, if you remember, it's been years ago, Hope was actually fantasizing about Thomas at the time. So, I feel like the viewers need, and they need, a palate cleanser to sweep that out of the way and show that Hope and Liam still have not only love for each other, but also that spark and that sizzle. I think we could also start to see Hope and Liam reconnect emotionally. And I don't think it'll be too long before we see them reconnect physically also. And once they do, I think their feelings will deepen and their reunion is going to pick up some velocity. The last thing is that I suspect we may see is that Hope and Liam get engaged and they get remarried ASAP. Scott Clifton did this interview on the Emmy red carpet, and he said the whole point of what Hope and Liam have just gone through. It can't be for nothing. So he's on board with Lope. But also, I just don't think that Hope and Liam can really move forward until they address these issues, until they say it out loud, say it in words, and get closure on the problems, these fundamental problems that tore their last marriage completely apart, things that have been festering for literally years. There was Steffi, there was Thomas, and there was that endless love triangle. There was Liam's heart being torn, Hope feeling less than, Hope engaging in this rivalry and fighting someone else for him. And now that's all done. So after Liam and Hope have a heart-to-heart, which is, as I say, overdue, I don't think it's going to be very long before Liam pops the question and they remarry. I don't see them wasting any time on a long engagement. So, I can't wait to see what's next. And with sweeps kicking off Thursday, October 30th, we should see some momentum soon for Hope and Liam.